Okay, being live streamed. I'm going to record and go live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday to you. This is another episode of Mental Health Awareness. Thank you for joining us today, July 24th, 2023, for another episode of JAWS Coffee Chat. Today, we have C-Snaps who's going to be running the show for us. Jennifer A. Whitaker could not be here, but that's okay. C-Snaps has got a lot to share with us. Please be sure to share, like, and subscribe to our social media pages, groups, and YouTube channel, or wherever it is that you came about to find us. Special thanks go out to Lawrence Wingate of Wingate TV, Marcus Hart of Transform You Media, Zach Clayton of the PAC channel, and Jay Stoyan of the Disability channel. All of those folks are kind enough to replay our episodes on their platforms. So what do you have for us today, C-Snaps?
Okay, so today I am coming with you to talk about self-love. And I was reading an article from Psychology Today, and I really think that it would be a wonderful topic for us to cover. It kind of was going along with that self-respect guidelines that I've been talking about that we need to have for ourselves in order for us to project it, in order for us to get along with other people. So self-love is just appreciating yourself, and not only your physical, but also your mental and your spiritual. So it is where you just love on yourself and just know your standards. So self-love helps you attract the people and circumstances that you want in your life. Some ways of that I do self-love is, if you don't know how to start self-love, I use what is called apps. One of the apps is called Questions. You can get that in the Apple Store. I'm not sure about Google or anywhere else. And then the other one is for you romance people out there is 50 First Date Questions. And then when you answer the questions, these questions are meant for other people. But if you can honestly answer these questions for yourself, then you will know yourself a lot better, and you will be able to give these answers to other people. Another thing is just to be mindful. So understanding yourself will help you communicate with others, and you better give your needs, what you need from others, better. EJ, before we go too deep, do you have any ways that you do self-love?
One of the things that I'm working on is positive mental self-talk, just being more positive about what I think about in my own head and how I talk to myself. Other things is I tend to be, I do better with self-love when I am around other people that are positive and upbeat, or taking care of myself as in doing something just for me. I'm a typical female and I take care of the household. You know, I have to take care of my husband, have to take care of my daughter. Granted, they take care of me too, but it still always seems to fall on us, the mom, the female of the house, to take care of the family that way. So I make sure that at some point every day, I do something just for me, whether that's just taking a break and going to my room and playing on my Kindle, some of my computer games or something, or going for a walk just by myself.
Mhm.
That kills two birds with one stone because it gets my exercise for the day as well as self-care.
Yes, that
And
is
being
so true.
outside, gives you a more positive mental capacity, being in God's nature, and that kind of thing. So those are my self-care go-tos.
Oh, I love those. Those are all good. And we'll cover some of those, especially the positive self-talk and things like that. So another thing is act on what you need, not what you want, and definitely not what others want for you. So if you can cover your needs, then that is extremely important for positive self-love. If you missed out on the self-care videos, I think we've done plenty of self-care videos on the Jaws Coffee Chat. So check out some of those self-care videos. And like she was saying, how she goes for a walk, to exercise, and playing those video games. Those are good ways for you to get your self-care in, but also show yourself some self-love. Setting boundaries. Oh, that word that nobody likes to hear when the counselor goes, "Did you set boundaries?" I know that's one for me where I'm like, stop, no boundaries. So, but boundaries are important. And the reason why they are important is because they set limits for other people and for yourself. Because when you have boundaries for yourself, it lets you know how far you can go, but it also lets other people know how far in they can approach you when you have boundaries. How do you feel about boundaries, EJ?
I'm not real good at setting boundaries, but I think I have some natural inherent boundaries that just come with my family that we've set without setting them specifically. They've just evolved into boundaries. So I can't say, it's kind of like setting goals. I'm not good at setting goals, but I have them. I just don't make it a point to set them. Does that make
Right.
sense? And
Yes.
that's kind of the way I am with boundaries. It's just kind of more of an assumed thing. And it probably would be more beneficial if I actually set them and we spoke them out loud, but that's just not my thing.
Oh, yes, I totally understand. And so, so before I go any further, so not only does it allow you to set limits, it allows you to say no. So it's important to say no to things, because the reason why you want to say, this is what you want to say no to. If it depletes your physical energy, say no. If it affects your emotions, say no. If you disagree, if it disagrees with your spirit or your spiritual beliefs or anything, say no. And lastly,
Let me clarify one thing, is that if it affects your emotions negatively, say no,
yes.
because it can affect your emotions in a positive way that you should say yes to. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
No, good point. You're so right. And then also, if you find yourself expressing yourself in a poor or negative way, then you need to say no. So good places to that where I started with boundaries was there's a boundaries book for Christians. And it's just called Boundaries. And it is by Dr. Henry Cloud and John Townsend. They also have books on boundaries in dating, books on boundaries with kids, books on boundaries with teens. And this is just how you can interact with the different people in your life. But an excellent one to just start with is their very first book, which is just Boundaries. And I believe it's red. So check that out. And no, I don't promote other, but I do. Those are good books too that I found very helpful for me. Next, we're going to talk about protecting ourselves. Do you protect yourself, or do you let people walk all over you? And so everyone you meet is not meant to be in your life. Oh, go ahead, EJ.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And so you have to bring the right people into your life. If they cause you pain or loss, then you need to get rid of them. They are not for your life. They're not meant to be in your life. And the reason why I say that is because people use the word frenemies and all of this other stuff, and you don't want to have friends as enemies. Get rid of them. You only want people that are going to uplift you and encourage you in your walk and where you want to go in life. Um,
The only problem with not having frenemies is the saying of keep your friends close and your enemies closer so you can keep an eye on them. But you're right. They don't need to be in your life for this respect.
right. So true. Okay. And forgive yourself. That's the next one. Forgive yourself. Sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. I remember when I was younger and my mom never put me on punishment, but I would put myself on punishment. Now, if she gave you grace, then why wouldn't you give your own self grace? You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
First time I ever made a C in a class, I grounded myself and my mom was like, it's a C. It's like, I say, no, I need to do better. I shouldn't be out doing this other stuff. I need to be studying because I made a C.
right.
So yeah, I
Yes.
did the same thing as you.
So true. So don't ground yourself, don't punish yourself for your mistakes. Accept that you are human and the fact that you are not perfect. No human is perfect. And then there's a quote that says, there are no failures if you have learned and grown from your mistakes, only lessons learned. So learn the lesson, but don't get stuck in the failure or the negative or the I can't forgive myself because I did. Um, and then live with intention, live intentionally. And I really like live intentionally. So I'm glad I saved that one for towards the end. So, well, not the end, but So when you live with intention, you have purpose and design. And so that's like one of my favorite topics to talk about is purpose and design, because the Bible says that people perish without a vision. So if you don't have a vision, then you perish. There's nothing, you don't know why you're living on this earth. Your purpose does not have to be a clear plan. In fact, many plans change over time, but always work towards a goal and leave room for God to change your goal. And so some of my goals, I know, I have a planner. I used to have the high performance planner, but they currently don't sell that anymore. So I have what is called a clever planner, which works almost similar to it. And so I don't know if anyone has ever heard of the Level 10 Life. And there's another Bible verse in Habakkuk that says, write the vision and make it plain, Habakkuk 2. And so when you write down your vision, you have a goal, a plan, and you know where you're going. So if you've never heard of the Level 10 Life, I don't think I have all levels. Let me check and see if I have all levels in this planner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's only 8 levels in this planner. I'm pretty sure they combined some of the levels in the Clever Planner. But it's health and fitness. And then there's business and career, family and friends, romance, personal development, finance, recreation, and spiritual. And these are only 8. So I know I'm missing 2, but like I said, they probably combined some of the levels from the Level 10 Life. So if you don't know what the Level 10 Life is, definitely check it out. And so like, you don't have to have in-depth goals. Make it simple. Like my health and fitness goal is to get better. My goal, I've always wanted to not have a mental illness since I I got it in my late 20s. And so I wanted to just get better, be 100% totally healed. And so that's my health goal. How am I going to do that? Don't know, but we're breaking it down into smaller steps right now. I'm on an eating plan that is very strict, and it has helped me get better, but I'm not 100% there yet. Let's see. And then for finances, save for a better future. How am I going to do that? You can just add a dollar to your penny bank every day. Personal development, I like to write. And so I'm working with some people on writing a book. And then fun and recreation. It's like, what do I like to do for fun? Well, I personally like to program. Yours could be go jet skiing or something. What do you like to do for fun? So that's just something that I like to do. Something that my counselors have been working with me about is spiritual. Now, let me tell you a secret about spiritual. It's changed. My spiritual for last year was create my own definition of how I view God. Never completed it, still might add it for this year, but I changed my spiritual to match my goals in counseling, which is get out the house. I think when I got
I don't think you
in the
can
house,
ever finish that first one. I
I'm
don't think you
sorry.
can ever finish that first one.
Oh, right.
That was always an ongoing thing.
It probably was. But it's definitely something to revisit later. And that's true. Your definition for God might change over time, and it's okay to like write a new one. I've written a new something on plenty of things. And so right now I'm doing for the counseling is I just want to get out the house once a week and try to make it into a physical church. I go to church online, love it. But I want to challenge myself because they want me to get out the house more because I am a homebody. So I want to challenge myself to make that physical appearance in an actual church. And so that's been really hard for me. And so I'm still working on it. But like EJ said, I think it was last week where we were talking about how getting out the house is it was hard, and how she just started by just driving there, and she didn't get out the car, but she drove there. And so that I might have to take those steps. I learned something from her. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a process of baby steps sometimes.
Yeah, process of baby steps. So just going slow with your life and trying to get to the final destination. And your goals don't have to be big. If you want to learn a language, learn a language. I mean, whatever, and then break it up into smaller goals. If you don't know how to break it up into smaller goals, use a mind map. Just take circles and start drawing circles until you can find the smallest place to start. If your goal is too big, if you don't know how to start, ask a professional. My aunt was always like, you can't ask mom, you can't ask dad, you need to go to the professional and ask them what you need to do and what steps you need to take to get to where they are. So ask a professional. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot that can be covered in self-love. I kind of saved that one towards the end because I want you guys to know that you have to have like a plan and a design. So now let's go into self-affirmations. I wanted to do this a little different because I do my affirmations according to chakras. Yes, I am a Christian and I believe in God. And no, I don't believe in Buddha, but I like the chakras affirmations, the way they create their affirmations. However, I've took another approach, and we're going to do it by biblical affirmations, and you can find all of these affirmations in the Bible. And so one of them is, I am clothed with strength and honor, which is in Proverbs 31:25. I am a child of God, 1 Peter 2:9. I am God's. I belong to God, basically, Ephesians 2:10. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, Psalms 139:14. I am strong and courageous, Deuteronomy 31:6. I am written on the palms of Christ's hands, and that is Isaiah 49:16. God will be with you. God will not fail you nor forsake you, Joshua 1:5. The Lord is my strength and my shield, Psalms 28:7. And these are just some of them. If you don't know any affirmations that you can say, Google Bible affirmations for self-love, and it will bring you up plenty of them. Bible affirmations for depression. God has compassion for me, Lamentations 3:22. And again, if God has compassion for you, then you should have compassion for yourself. I have angels surrounding me to help me, Psalms 91:11. Christ knows me, I am his sheep, John 10:14. God protects me, he holds me in his arms, Isaiah 40:11. God comforts me, 2 Corinthians 1:4, and God hears me, Psalms 116:2. And then God made this day for me, I will rejoice in it, Psalms 118:24. So just different affirmations are definitely good. Get yourself a daily ritual and a morning routine. Add those affirmations to your morning routine. If you like recording yourself, record yourself. Wake up every morning and record yourself. Do what you love, and just have fun with it. So I know for me, I would record myself at night so that I could play myself a video in the morning, because in the mornings, not all the time was I at my best. And so I would wake up and I would go, play. Oh, this is how positive today is supposed to be. Cool. And this is how positive yesterday was. I always gave myself the affirmations for the morning, and then what positive happened in my life the day before, so that I can move forward to the next day. Gratitude is definitely something positive. I don't know if I talked about it on this show, but I know I say it a lot. God likes when you give thanks. So give thanks, be grateful. And that's very important. He does not like complaining. So if you can eliminate complaining, then it will be a good thing. And that speaks so many wonders, because I know for me, when I hear a person complain, like, stop, don't want to hear it. It actually is proven in science that when you listen to people complain, or if you complain for at least 30 minutes, it has a negative depression effect on your body. So you need to stay positive, and I don't want to say stay positive, because it has to come from the heart. So you have to like find things that you are grateful for, and it has to come from the heart. If it doesn't come from the heart, then I don't think you're healing yourself in the way that you should.
Yeah, another way to say it is look for the silver lining.
Yeah.
Bad situations can still have a positive spin if you look for it.
So true. So look for the silver lining, and then just have that grateful, loving heart. What else did I want to say? I got sidetracked, but that's okay. But yeah, just enjoy what you do. enjoy life and enjoy the people around you. And if they're having a bad day, try to uplift their day with some encouragement, and try to help them see the positive in their own life if they're complaining. And that leads me to, I think it's in James, where the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous man availeth much. Right before that, it says something to the effect of healing. We pray for each other so that we can be healed. That's one reason why we should pray, is so that we can heal not only ourselves, but heal each other. God heals us through the prayers of others. So when you pray for me and I pray for you, then we're all healing each other. It's a healing process that's taking place through prayer. So it's important to pray. And I believe that's all I have. So if we do a quick recap, be mindful, do what you need, not what you want, and definitely not what people want you to do. That's a big one. Don't skip out on self-care. Set boundaries. Protect yourself. Forgive yourself and live intentionally. Treat yourself how you would treat your best friend, and accept yourself just as you are. And like my one affirmation that I wrote down but didn't say was, I love myself, so I will take my pills. But I wanted to give you guys biblical affirmations. So that's why I went to the Bible.
Okay. I froze there for a second.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah. Those are all very good points. I like the I've never been good at it, but I like the idea of doing a gratitude journal where you just, I think there's a book out there somewhere that talks about coming up with 1,000 things to be grateful for. That's a lot. But over the course of days, you start really fine tuning, like you were saying, you fine tune. You start off saying, oh, it's great. It's a great sunny day.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time it's a sunny day, you say, oh, well, the colors are brighter today. And then you're grateful for all, you start really fine tuning down all the things that make that day great because it's bright and sunny, that type of thing.
Right. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Fine tuning your affirmations. I like that. You said 1,000 things. I was like, I don't think I could come up with 1,000 things.
Well, not all in one sitting, but over the course of time, and that makes you every day think about things that you're grateful for.
Right. That is so true. And then like most adults can only come up with 5 things that they're grateful for. And then they're like, don't know. And then that might be their whole week, one for each day. Mm-hmm. And so just really sitting down and thinking about, like she said, the sun, and then the wind, like the things that we don't think about, but we take for granted of. Those are very important. The waves in the ocean. I love the ocean, by the way.
I thought you might. But yeah, you're not going to have 1,000 things, especially those of us with mental health issues. It's a challenge to be positive.
Yes.
Because a lot of times the mental health medications and just the mental health issues to begin with are downers. And
Yes,
so it
so true.
takes concentrate, like you said, living intentionally. It takes a concentrated effort to just sit and take 5, 10, 15 minutes and think, okay, what is there to be grateful for?
Right,
You know, because it's not something that comes naturally when you have depression or
right,
anxiety or any number of other, mental health issues. It takes being very intentional about it to focus on it and make it, like you said, make it a part of your routine before it becomes more natural.
right. So, and that kind of reminds me, I use an app called Fabulous. Love it.
Oh, cool.
In the app, it's a habit creator. And so one of the things that they start you out with is drinking water. You wake
Mhm.
up every day and you have to try to drink a cup of water. So they give you tips on how to create habits, which is put it beside your bed and different things like that. But what it boils down to ultimately is you prepare the day before for what you're going to do the next day. So that's one. And then two, it was never about the water and you drinking the water that you put on the side of your bed. It's all about creating a habit and sticking to it. And then what happens when your habits change? You got to start from ground zero to build the new habit so that it can work. So, yeah.
But drinking, it may not be about the drinking water and about the habit, but drinking water helps the mental health because we are quite often dehydrated, and that brings on negativity because your body can't function as well.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they started with water. But they eventually told us that it wasn't necessarily about the water, but water
Right.
is important. And I do believe that water is important. I go to a holistic doctor. She makes me drink 60 to 80 glasses of water a day. So very important to drink water.
What is in here? It's ice water.
Right.
It's always water.
I don't even have a cup today. I'm slacking. Shame on me. Yeah. But yeah. So if you don't know how to build habits, start small and work your way up. You can build multiple habits at one time.
But until you're
Like
used
I
to
started with the
building,
class of
unless you're used to building habits, I would start with one at a time and don't overwhelm yourself.
right. Start with one. Yeah, start with one at a time. When you get good at building habits, you can do habit stacking and start doing multiple at a time. I think like for the glass of water, it took like 1 week, or I think it was a week, maybe 2 weeks, but to get you to constantly drink that water every day. And then once you have that water, then you can add a habit. I think the next habit that they have, because we focused on staying healthy, was exercise. So, and not intense exercise. So it's like if you usually run a mile, walk around the block. If you usually like to do some type of dance, do like 2 to 3 minutes of dancing in your room. Or if you like, that's just for intense exercise. If you did like 100 push-ups or less, then do 1 push-up a day. And then that's when you start building the next habit. If you can't do it, then, it takes time. Nothing happens overnight. And that goes for pretty much anything on this earth. Nothing happens overnight. Everything takes practice.
I've always heard it takes 21 days of repeatedly doing something
right.
to fully build a habit. Before that, it's just you've got to intentionally do it. But supposedly after like 21 days, it's more natural. It's more expected. It's more.
It is. That is so true. So I'll give you an example because I've done the 21-day thing. And then after 21 days, I'll take a trip out of town. There went my habits.
Yep.
And then I what I'm trying to do now is not only keep the habit, but transfer it to different locations. When my life changes, the habits don't have to change. And I know
That's good.
for me, for me, when something minor, itty bitty changes in my life, like me visiting someone or just going on a trip for a week, that triggers that's like a major change for me.
Oh, yeah.
Too major. And so all my habits go out the window. I'm totally lost if I don't have a plan. And so with that being said, just trying to keep the habits through the change.
Have you found it helps writing down those habits so that when you do get out of sync, you have something to go back to and reground yourself
Yes.
as to what you did?
Yes. So yes, the app actually holds the habits for me. Usually on that trip, I'm clicking ignore.
Shame on you.
Just gonna be honest. It's the ignore button. But no, seriously, you shouldn't ignore it because I don't feel that I can work it into the whatever environment I've changed to. And so I'm trying to keep the grounding with the change. And that's where I'm struggling at. So yeah. But
Well,
I do write it down. Well, it's written down,
Yeah.
so that I can just click a button.
So with earlier in the conversation, you talked about trying to get out of the house more. Can you take some of those habits that you're trying to do and intentionally take them with you and do something when you're out of the house because it's not where you normally would do that habit? Would that help you?
Oh, she's challenging me.
Always.
I know, right? I could, yeah. So, after the morning routine, and even with the morning routine, I could change it up a bit and try to do it out of the house. Like with the afternoon routines, usually that's a work routine where I can set a timer and just focus on work. I could take that out the house, maybe go sit somewhere in a library or something.
Mhm.
And I don't know.
Or even the morning routine, if it involves any kind of exercise, go to
Yeah,
a local park and do your exercises, in and around the park or something.
right. And then I can go home. Yeah.
Yep. And take your water with you so that you drink the water while you're exercising. There you go, stacking them.
Right. Yeah. So usually, actually, I'll tell you a secret about the water. If you can put water by your bed and make it cold and it lasts till in the morning, or be close to the refrigerator where you can get it in the morning, it actually wakes you up if you can drink it within the first 5 minutes of getting up. And it
Yep.
hydrates you and energizes you.
That's why I like the stainless steel cup because it keeps it colder longer. The ice stays in it longer. I actually had it with me at the farmer's market. We had a booth at the farmer's market this weekend.
Oh,
And
nice.
I put more ice in there than water, thinking, okay, it's gonna be hot, it'll melt. No, the
Mhm.
stainless steel kept it from melting, so I didn't have any water after a while. It was all ice.
Oh,
Okay, I got to remember to put some ice in, put more water in because the ice will
right.
stay
Yeah.
because it's stainless steel, so it doesn't melt as fast.
That's so true. Yes. That's funny. I've been there.
Yep.
That's nice. Yeah. So, for me, yeah, getting out the house. I'll try that. I'll let you know what happens.
Okay, cool.
Can't promise it'll be soon, but
Baby
I'm working on it.
steps. Yep,
Baby
baby
steps.
steps. The first baby step is to plan on it. Whether you
Right.
execute it or not, making the plan.
Okay. I'll make the plan. And then I will execute.
Yep.
So
All
yeah,
right. Was that all you have for us today?
that is it.
Excellent. Well, this has been a good one. I like it. A lot of good ideas. I like the affirmations. I need to do some of the more the biblical affirmations. I'm not good at that. Like I said, that's one of my big struggles is keeping the positive mental chat.
I like
going.
to you do both of them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, if you liked this episode, check out our previous episodes on our YouTube channel, Jaws Coffee Chat, and give us some comments on what you like in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. And be sure to join us again next week, same time, same bat channel. Let's see, next week is what? July 31st? Is that what the next is? It is. It's the 31st. Wow. Okay, folks. So next mental health awareness podcast will be July 31st, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. Is that correct?
2:30 Central.
2:30 Central. I was late today. Yes, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. Again, special thanks to Lawrence Wingate of Wingate TV, Marcus Hart of Transform U Media, Zach Clayton of the PAC Channel, and Jay Stoyan of the Disability Channel, all for replaying our shows on their platform. We greatly appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all their media pages so you're up on what they have presented as well as ours. And until next week, I think that's it for us. We wish everybody a productive and enjoyable week. Thanks so much for bringing these ideas to our attention, C-Snaps.
Thanks for having me.
Go enjoy that beach behind you.
No, I wish.
Don't you wish?
It's a
All right.
backdrop.
Yeah. All right, everybody, take care, and we will see you next week. Thanks for